saying what I am.
I'm on the show. Go viral again?
Bro, how do you go viral?
To the table. Bro, I'm not your son, so I'm able. I do my own bits.
I don't think it's in real life. I think it's gonna be in fake life.
Know that you're feeling it. First time, I'm proud of myself.
So no stress, nothing, even though for the big moments?
Nah, man. It's just because, you know, honestly, bro, it just feels more like a celebration.
All right, Paul, we're back. This time in Detroit, your hometown. How you feeling, man?
Player, you came all the way from Arizona to Detroit.
Yeah, man. Straight off the plane, straight to your venue to see how everything was going on with production. It's sick. It's a lot of stuff behind it.
Yeah, man.
Way more than I expected, man. It's insane.
Yeah, player, I am ready to rock, man. I feel fantastic.
Yeah.
So I told you this. You watch Dragon Ball Z, right?
I know some stuff.
But the reason why I mentioned that is because the Goku had this, you know, who's one of the main characters. He's a Saiyan, and he has this ability to turn Super Saiyan, which is basically he gets so pumped up, he achieves this next level of strength, right? And so when he achieves his next level of strength, sometimes he needs to like really charge up to get it, and then he becomes Super Saiyan, which is his hair turns blonde. He basically goes from looking like an Armenian dude to Matt Rife.
Yeah.
So he changes real quick, right? So that's what I'm gonna do if a cop pulls me over.
Go Super Saiyan on.
Yeah. I'm just saying. You shouldn't arrest me. So I don't have that problem, by the way. But basically Goku learned to just chill in Super Saiyan mode, where it's like he's just charged up at his full energy, just chilling, and that's how I feel right now.
Yeah.
Like if you're feeling like I don't feel anything, I feel, or whatever it is that people feel, it's like so natural, bro. And these feelings are gifts from God, player. People die to have these feelings.
Yeah.
Do you know how much people would love to feel something? And I get to feel all these things?
Well, like, let's set it straight for the audience. You're shooting a comedy special, which is basically like the comedian's equivalent of winning an NBA championship. Like, this is like the title shot for you right now. It's a big deal.
Not a title shot. I feel like I feels like I already won the title.
And
this is just me doing like a victory lap.
Right. Yeah. Now you get to enjoy the fun of it too.
Yeah, because a lot of people are like, bro, this feels like a boxing match. You're going into a fight. I'm like, dog, I ain't going into a fight, bro. I'm going into like hang with my homies.
Yeah. Well, I mean, last time we spoke, you were telling me how your mom was having a hard time when you first transitioned because everything was about money.
Okay. What do you mean by that?
Not transition as in from going a lawyer into the entertainment industry.
Sure.
Yeah.
I became trans career.
Trans career, yeah. But basically
I identify as a comedian.
Exactly. And now
I'm a lawyer trapped in a comedian's body.
But has she come around now being like, all right, I see the results coming in. I give you all my blessings.
You know, man, I think our parents always want more. They want to see you even go to the next level and go to the next level and go to the next level. Because then she's like, you filmed your comedy special. Great. Maybe next time you'll do it for like a bigger company. Maybe next time you'll sell out the Fox Theater. Maybe next time you'll sell out the Lions Stadium.
Right.
So I think she is definitely proud of me. I'll tell you this, like there's zero, what are you doing vibes.
Why now shoot a comedy special? Like why wait all of this time? Why did you not do it sooner? Why not do it later? Tell me about that.
I believe that every fruit ripens on its own schedule, my bro. And I felt like now was the time. You just feel it. Like, we don't know why we do things or why things are what they are. It's just a feeling, and you got to just trust that. So I just trusted when I was ready, I'll know. And then I knew, and that's why I set this all up. Even when I set it up, I didn't even know if I was ready or not. But I was like, I'm just going to do it. Now that I'm here, I'm ready.
Right. And we all have people in the industry that we look up to, right? So there's people that I look up to, especially Assyrian content creators such as Patrick David, Georgienko, and all of them, yourself included. And so did you have any comedians where you're looking up to them while you're coming up, that any of them inspire this comedy special?
Yeah, man. Brody Stevens passed away in, I believe it was 2018 or 2019. He passed away. And bro, this guy was phenomenal comedian. I'd see him go up. I'm like, wow, this is somebody who truly doesn't care. Not in a bad way where he doesn't care. So he's performing like he doesn't care. It's where he doesn't care what anyone else thinks of him. He's so free. And I saw someone perform with that level of freedom was so inspiring. When you see anybody do anything with that level of freedom.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people who are like, obviously in our culture, in the Assyrian culture, right? Chaldean Assyrian culture, Syriac. I don't know why there's so many.
Yeah.
Can we just be one thing, please?
That's a whole conversation that we might get into later on.
So yeah, man. So I'm just saying, I feel like there's some people who are doctors, lawyers, business owners, they're in these prominent positions, but it's like, bro, they're not really fully invested in what they're doing, man. They're like doing mortgages. Like I literally talked to some Chaldean guys. They're like, man, I'm just doing mortgages, man. I don't know, bro. I don't know what I'm doing. And they're sort of like walking through life this way. What a blessing that we don't have to do that, bro.
Yeah.
What a blessing that you're doing exactly what you're doing, which is chilling in a Chevrolet jacket.
Shout out my brother. I stole it from him. But
what the hell?
I mean, that's the thing, man. Like there's a lot of things within the Assyrian community where we praise them for a lot of things, right? It's like when someone passes away, everybody's over your house. They're giving condolences, feeding you. Like we're taking care of each other like we're family. Then on the other hand, it's like when you see someone succeeding, being free, doing their own thing that they're pursuing, there's a bit of animosity and jealousy in that aspect because I feel like a lot of us think that the pie is limited and they're like, oh, Paul got a slice of the pie. But instead, like, you got to understand that pie is unlimited. Yeah, he's got a big slice, but it's not like the slices are limited. The pie is huge. Everyone can get a slice and keep it growing.
Bro, in a lot of ways, I felt like I had to make my own pie. I felt like there was no slice. I've been trying to get slices. I've been waiting in line for a slice and I couldn't get any pie. I feel like I had to make my own.
When that goes into you self-producing this comedy special, right? So like a lot of times in the industry, people who are comedians, when they like have a big name and their proven track record, where like Netflix will approach them or Comedy Central will approach them. You took the opposite route. You're like, I'm going to do this on my own. So what was the mindset behind that and having Matt Rife produce it and all that good stuff?
I was tired of waiting for a piece of pie. I had to do it on my own. So I did it, told Matt about it. He was in. Bassem Youssef, he was in. Azar Usman, he was in. Christina Shams, the executive producer, my manager, she was ready. One of my dearest friends, Dan Ringy, is directing this project. Dan Ringy directed one of the first films I ever produced, feature film I produced. Dan came over here. Ron G's opening the show. Ian Edwards is opening the show as well. Flying in from LA. Lisa Wiegand, the DP, she was like one of my dearest friends, closest friends in Detroit. She let me live at her house for free for almost a year while I got myself on my feet. Like, bro, look at all this love.
Yeah.
My brothers just did the cold open. My brothers just pulled up, and they showed up, camera ready, do this cold open, and then they went home. I mean, bro, like, I'm winning, bro. All this love. So I'm like, I had to do it on my own, and I had people that I love help me make it happen.
Yeah.
I couldn't do this without them. This is not like I did everything. It's like because of who I am, a lot of people were like, I want to invest in this.
Well, I also think that's the reason why you're successful is because you give acknowledgement and love to the people who are helping you out, and you don't have that egotism attached to it. Because it's like God will see the blessings that He's giving it to you, and you're like, as soon as the moments where He goes, "Oh, I'm doing it all on my own," He's like, "Oh, really? Let me take that away from you and humble you really quickly."
Now what?
Now what are you gonna do?
Then it's like, man, come on, baby.
Right, you're back to begging for the piece of a pie.
Damn, man, can I get a piece?
Yeah. So let's transition to you being one of the very few Assyrian comedians who actually have a comedy special. Besides you, I think it's Vincent Oshana. That's it.
Yeah.
So do you feel like you're isolated in this industry where you're the only Assyrian doing things at this level, or do you feel like you're creating a path for future Assyrian comics to follow after?
Well, there's like a big group that I fall in because it's also like Middle Eastern. Also, first generation. Mm-hmm. It's not just Assyrian. It's like there's a lot of Iraqis that are like, wow, and this guy's parents are from Iraq, and he says Iraq, and he talks about Iraq, and he knows how to say Iraq.
Yeah.
Right?
I've been destroyed for saying Iraq before. So.
Oh, bro, I used to say Iraq.
Yeah.
Dude, I used to go on stage and be like, so my parents are from Iraq. So, bro, I feel like I fit in so many pockets, you know? And I identify with all that, man. It's like I'm for, anyone with immigrant parents, maybe you can relate to my story. Anyone from Middle Eastern background maybe can relate to my story. Anyone who just enjoys comedy in general. So it doesn't feel like pressure. Like I don't look at it that specifically. I look at it that specifically sometimes, but it's like only when I really need to. Like, am I the only Assyrian who's doing this? When I need to put identity into it, it was like, it's definitely a filter that I cycle things through. But for comedy, it's very much a global story that I'm telling. So I look at myself globally.
Got it. And so let's just stay on the topic of Assyrians really quickly.
Yeah.
Sounds like you've gotten over. Have you heard of Assyrian embarrassment syndrome?
No.
All right. Well, it sounds like you've conquered it, because a lot of times people in my generation, they're embarrassed to open up to older generations or to have conversations about serious things or even be funny and say open jokes, outlandish jokes like you are to the older generation, because they're afraid of judgment. They're afraid of being made fun of behind their back, all that good stuff. So it sounds like you conquered it. So congratulations to you on that.
Yeah, man. I mean, if any older person has something to say, you suck. You suck. And I can do something you can never do. That's why you're upset. Because you've limited yourself to one thing in life. And you see someone else doing something different, you don't know how to comprehend it. Go on.
Go on. Funny story about that. So when I was
about go ons?
Yeah, about go on. So when I was a kid, my uncle, so I'm part Jordanian. My mom's half Jordanian, half Assyrian. So I'm 25% Jordanian. And when we used to sleep over at my uncle's house, he used to go up to my grandma and he used to say, he used to come up to us and say, go to your grandma and say Kasumak and Goa to them all the time. And then we were like, all right, we're 4 or 5 years old. So we went up and said it to her and she would just gasp. God. And you hear him crying around the corner laughing. We don't know. We don't speak Arabic.
Was this Ashton Kutcher? Kutcher, whatever the fuck.
I can't expose my uncle's name like that or my mom will get mad. So.
His name's Amon.
I understand that you did movies, TV shows, acting. You did you've done comedy for a long time. But what's different behind the producing your own comedy special versus everything you've ever done in the past?
Man, I've produced all my own shit anyway, so this feels so at home, bro. Like, you should have saw me earlier. I'm like charging the lamps. I'm like grabbing the lamps and I'm charging them.
Yeah.
I'm like grabbing Crafty. I'm like grabbing things and I'm helping people set up. I'm like moving ladders.
See, this is the side that actually interests me the most, because not a lot of people see what happens behind the scenes. And because now I'm doing a lot of stuff that requires behind the scene work, like you would think most people like kick their feet up and snap their fingers and their team is doing everything, right? But like you're actually like doing all the dirty work too and making sure everything gets done your way that you like. And then you go perform too. So it's like you're not only just thinking about the comedy and the jokes, you're also thinking like lights, cameras, and action. You're thinking of all the production as well, which weighs on your mind.
Yeah, I basically learned how to juggle like multiple bowling pins and still do a good job. Right. And sometimes I prefer juggling 10 rather than 2 things.
Isn't just because you like staying busy, or?
Yeah, I think there's a part of it that makes me feel productive.
Stronger.
Yeah. I mean, that's just naturally what my mind does, bro. My mind just naturally goes there. Like, I'm starting to become aware of the things I just do naturally. Naturally, even when I was with Lisa, we're walking out the car. And I was like, oh, let me carry Lisa's bags because I love Lisa and I don't want her to have to carry bags. She has her dog with her. I'm like, so I'm going to carry the bags. I got 2 arms. I'm a strong ass man. I need to work out anyway. I'm going to grab these bags. So I think of that always. And it's also like an act of service. Right? So the thing is, I like to, when I'm on set, I'm like, cool. Someone needs to charge the lamps. I'll charge them. I just grab them, throw them on the charger. But also I'm aware. And it's like, listen, bro, I know the things I shouldn't be doing. Like I shouldn't be doing everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I hired a bunch of people and all these people are here to do their job. I can't take their job away from them. But when there's something that I can do, I feel like I have to jump in.
Right. I mean, that's the creative mind. That's the pros and cons of being a really creative person. Just really quickly, I want to take a time out. I actually got you something.
What the hell?
Just to keep the Detroit theme going, your comedy special is called Detroit Player.
If it's fentanyl.
We're in Detroit. That's China. We're in Detroit. So I only thought it'd be right if I got you a Barry Sanders signed.
No way. No way.
Football.
No way, bro. You liar.
That's what I was talking to your brother about in the studio today. He gave me some nice recommendations.
Bro, you got me a Barry Sanders football? Bro, you trying to smash. You trying to smash. Your boy trying to smash. And he gonna. Bro, thank you, man.
Yeah, bro.
Come on, man. I'm gonna walk over to you, player. Thank you, man.
You got it.
Thank you, dog.
Congratulations, bro.
Thank you, bro.
It's a big deal.
Dan, you won't believe this, bro. This player bought me a Barry Sanders signed football, bro.
Holy fuck. Is that real?
Yeah, man. This is authentic sticker on the back of it.
Touch it?
Yeah, you want to buy it?
Whether you're a newlywed couple trying to design their dream home, or a person who's trying to impress their friends and family, or maybe you just want to make sure your mother doesn't walk into your kitchen with a disappointed look on her face, then Galleria Design Studios has got you covered. With 6+ years of industry experience, Galleria Design Studios offers highly customizable work that will suit your needs exactly the way that you want them. And they will work with you to make sure your dream designs come true. Start off with a complimentary measurement service and a 3D rendering of your space to get the process started today. And meet the team: Oshrid Shiba, head of sales; Yolanda Orellano, lead cabinetry designer in sales; and Maria Garcia, designer in sales. If you're ready to take your first steps in creating your dream home, get started today and visit www.galleriadesignstudio.com.
What the hell, man? Oh, man, I'm so sorry, bro. You just rear-ended me. Hold on.
This is Tony.
Tony.
What's up, brother?
Yeah, man, I know you're in Chicago, but I just got in an accident in Arizona.
Actually, we opened up an office in AZ.
You are? Oh, you're screwed, buddy.
Injury Rights is now expanding to Arizona. Whether it's an automobile accident, pedestrian accident, slip or fall accident, or construction incident, Tony's got you covered in the Illinois and Arizona areas. Injury Rights has plenty of case results and personal testimonies to put your mind at ease knowing that you're in the right hands, with a successful track record that's open to the public. Call now for your free consultation at 847-982-9516 or go to www.injuryrights.com.
Bro, you know what I love about Barry, bro? This guy was not the tallest guy in the field. He was not the fastest guy. But, bro, this guy had so much heart. His mission was to get yards. All he thought about was yards. Even when, bro, a lot of his biggest plays were not even when the pocket was open for him. There's plays where you see Barry Sanders where he swarmed, bro. I think they were playing the Cleveland Browns. They basically swarmed him and there's a pile, and then somehow you just see him get out and run for a touchdown. You've seen him, the pocket collapse, and he stopped, and he's just chilling, and he's just waiting, and then he just goes, and he found a way.
Yeah.
I identify with that.
That hustler mentality.
Because, bro, so many times the pocket has collapsed on me in entertainment. It's like...
Can you give me some examples?
Bro, I've been on over 400 auditions, bro. I've been on over 400 auditions. And you go through, and all those auditions I've came on, all those times I've came close, all those times I came close. And I'm like, dog, I just got to make my own thing. If I'm relying on running through this hole, basically running through the hole is like, you're going to get an agent and then a manager, and they're going to submit you for an audition. Then you're going to book it. Then you're going to be in a movie with Denzel. It's like you're going to do stand-up comedy, and someone's going to like you. And then you're going to get a manager. And then you start opening up this huge community. Then you're going to get a Netflix special. All those things that people do. You're going to be on late night television. You're going to do well. And then that's going to lead to a thing. None of those things happen for me. So I had to find another way. That's why I like Barry Sanders so much, because he was a dude that would always find a way, because his goal was like, I need yards. A hole is nice. If not, I got to find one.
Yeah. You're talking about your special. I believe Matt Rife shot his first recently.
Yeah.
So was having him on your team and him shooting a special first, because I think it's his first special as well, right? Or
This is his first Netflix special.
Netflix special. And so was having him do it first, like setting the blueprint for you, where you're like, all right, I can learn from Matt so I don't make the same mistakes. Has he helped you out through the process of that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, him and I have basically been hand in hand on all three of his comedy specials.
Oh, okay.
I had his back. And it was my job to sort of look for everything to make sure there's anything he doesn't see. So I had an extra eye. So now when I'm doing my thing, and also I've worked with Lisa and a lot of the other technical folks that are on the team. So it definitely helped, bro. And it's like I came in with a plan.
Yeah. So you learned from experience from those. When was the first? How long have you been working with Matt in terms of producing comedy specials? When was his first one?
First one was in 2001. 2021, sorry, 2021.
21. Okay. So, all right. So you've gotten a few years of experience with this level of production behind.
Yeah, bro. And also watching, Mo Amer shoot his two specials. I was at both his tapings, watching Rami Youssef.
Yeah.
I've been behind the scenes and seen the wheels turn and what is needed.
I want to talk about the Deadline Hollywood article that came out recently.
Oh, you saw that?
Oh, I read it.
You saw that,
front and back. So Matt said in the interview, it all feels like we're going to be back in the back of my apartment complex in like 6 months trying to sell 70 tickets. And I think that's just because of how inconsistent this business is. We all go through jumps in our career that we're like, oh, this is going to be the thing. I'm going to be fine from here on out. And then you have to start all over again. So how much do you relate to that? Because that article was you and him. And then also, does that leave a level of paranoia in your head, even when you reach this high of a comedy special, right? But now it's like that statement from Matt, like we could be back in the apartment again. We're starting from scratch. Is it good to have that level of paranoia? Do you function best with it, or does that not apply to you?
You know, man, even if we're in the back of an apartment building, I'll still say thank you, God. I accept whatever my fate is, bro. We can't run away from it. So there's no paranoia, bro. I just accept whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I got to just do my best.
Wow.
So, you know, Matt, it's like it all feels like this is going to happen. I actually were to push back on that. And actually, I would actually yes and that. Like, yes, Matt, yes, and we're still grateful. No matter what. You know, that level of gratitude for God, bro, is very, it's hard to achieve. It's hard to get that. It takes work. You got to have a lot of work. And genuinely, bro, I'm like, I'm just doing my best. And whatever happens, happens. Like, I don't even know what's going to happen tomorrow. We might film the special, bro. And I might mess up all my jokes.
Yeah.
I might split my pants. I might, all of a sudden, a light may fall on me. I don't know what might happen. Please don't happen.
Yeah.
Things. But if it happens, bro, it happens, man. You just got to just be like, bro, whatever. God has a plan. Like my mom. My mom was supposed to come. She may not be able to come. All good, bro. It's God's plan. And I submit to that.
That's a good perspective to have, but it's hard sometimes to pass that perspective onto a person who's like a non-believer. Is Matt a believer?
He's starting to believe.
So you're a good influence? Is that what I'm hearing?
I mean, we pray. We pray. You know, I told him, I was like, bro, I want to pray before you go on stage.
Yeah.
And then we prayed.
When you're working during the pandemic to create the show with Matt Rife, you said that a lot of times the show would lose money in the beginning because, you know, COVID and all of that crap. And Matt has another quote that I want to go over with you. If you work hard and you're funny, good things will happen. That's what he thought. We would work hard, we would be funny, and then at the end of the show, people would walk by like, hey, man, thanks, and just keep on walking by. So there was like this sense of not being recognized for your hard work for a while. And so do you and Matt still share that same sentiment where it's like back then, would you ever have that moment like, screw this, like it's not working out? Or was there like a little flame that you had to like keep shielded from the wind where you kept it going and then the ember turned out to what it was today?
Wow, that's a great analogy. Yeah, bro. It feels like two things. It feels like the flame was being held. It's like, I'm not going to let that draft of that not wanting to give recognition to stop the flame. But then also at the same time, now that the flame is so high, I kind of just want to be like, I told you, you dumbass.
Yeah.
You dumbass bitch. It's hard to not be on that energy.
Right.
But that's when it's just like, bro, forgive them for they do not know. Vibes. You know? And I'm just like, all right, whatever, man. It's all good.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, whether you want to admit you know, it don't matter to me.
So what's the sentiment like here with the support from the Assyrian and Chaldean community? This is basically, other than Modesto, like the biggest hub in America for our people. So is there a lot of support when they hear your name, they show up to shows? How's that like?
Decent amount, yeah. I really do feel like specifically the Chaldean Assyrian community, specifically in Detroit, I think they just kind of like to chill. It's up to the person, bro. I mean, I think the work that I'm doing, it's important to me. I'm not doing this work and I'm not saying the things that I'm saying for anyone else except me. And if you want to get behind that, dope. And if not, that's also cool. So in terms of the community, there's definitely people who support, but I do feel like a lot of the community, like they just don't really get comedy as much, or maybe I'm wrong, but I'm just like, man, you know, tickets have been on sale for a while and all of a sudden you're hitting me up saying, oh yeah, let me get in. It's like, why didn't you buy tickets before?
Well, so
as an example,
this probably has nothing to do with it, but I'm just genuinely curious. You've had a few moments since my show and then a few posts that you did with the other Assyrian pages where it was a lot of, you know, controversy behind what was being said. So do you think like that carried on into the Chaldean community where then they have resentment towards you?
Maybe. I don't know for certain. Maybe it's a bunch of things. I had someone say, people think you're too liberal. And I was like, what did I say that was liberal? They're like, I don't know. I remember one time you posted about like some guy who got like deported back to Iraq. And then you were like, that's so wrong. And then I was like, what? They're like, yeah, you said that. And I knew what they were talking about. This is when the ICE agents came into Michigan.
That guy that was born here?
Yeah, they started lifting a bunch of like Assyrians. And they were like, yo, we're going to send you back to Iraq. And they had them in jail in Ohio for a while. There were a lot of Chaldeans that were like, lock them up. They're criminals. Lock them up. And I was just like, dog, these your own people, player. They're like, yeah, but they're felons and they don't belong here. They didn't get in here properly. So but the thing is, there was way more support for them than non-support. But there were some that were on some non-support, and they were like, dude, who cares? You know, I feel like a lot of times Chaldeans, they don't really like, they'll go to like a wedding, they'll go to a thing. But if it's like someone else that maybe they're not related to, maybe they just have an allergic reaction to like arts.
You've been on the road a lot. You went to Toronto. You've been all over San Diego, all these places. You've been touring the world, man. It's awesome to see. What are some crazy experiences you've had along the way?
It's interesting. There's a lot of people who, there's a lot of spillover from Matt Rife's audience. People see me perform with Matt, and then they're like, wow, they discover my talent, and they're like, I want to see him in another show. So there's some people who I opened for Matt in Portland. I opened up his tour, Problematic World Tour. We did it in Bend, Oregon, 6,500 seats. I performed, I did 20 minutes. And then I did my own show in Portland, Oregon, which is around an hour, 2 hours away from Bend, Oregon, maybe a month and a half later. And there were a lot of people there that were at that show. So I would say it's really dope to see, like, there's people at that show and they're like, hey man, I really like love your story. And I think you make some really interesting points. And it's like, thank you for bringing comedy to this level. It's really refreshing to feel it. And it's also so refreshing to hear all the story threads and to see you sort of tie everything in all together. It's really cool. And that was a really dope experience, you know?
Yeah.
So definitely hearing from fans, bro, and hearing from people like you that vibe with me, and they're like, bro, that's so dope. So going on the road and basically all these thoughts that I have being validated constantly by people, even if I think I didn't have the best show, people are still on some mad respect vibes. That's a really dope experience, man.
Yeah.
You know, like, not that I'm desensitized to like perform in front of huge audiences. It's amazing. It's beautiful, bro. And I'm so grateful every time. But it's like, I think hearing from the people, I get a rush from that.
Well, that's a really real thing, man. The desensitization, because you think first in the beginning where it's like, you kind of feel guilty for not feeling emotions about something you think is a huge achievement. Like, for example, a lot of my friends would say, you should be proud of this. But it's like, I don't feel that way for a lot of things that people say you should be proud of. I feel like I'm just doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Right. So, you know, in terms of getting a degree, I got my master's degree in engineering, you know, engineering positions. And people are like, oh, you're 22 at this age, you got a master's degree. I'm just like, I was just doing what I was told. I was told you go to school. You know what I mean? Like, there was I don't feel any sentiment when I look at that diploma or anything. So I don't know, when you do something at a high level, like how you're doing for as long as you're doing, that's completely understandable in my opinion.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'm a very blessed player.
Yeah. So what was your biggest fear in all of this coming into this moment?
That I would get sick and get COVID and I couldn't film.
It's coming back.
Yeah, bro. COVID's coming out for another season.
Yeah.
I'm like, this shit is like fucking
It wants its own special.
Stranger Things.
Right.
Shit's
Well,
coming back.
thank God you're healthy and you're going to get rolling, and I'm excited to see what happens tomorrow night, man.
Me too, player.
Awesome.
I'm ready to go, man.
Paul, thanks again, man.
Thanks, player. Listen, bro, you're a dope dude, man, and you work very hard. Do you say Noel or Emmanuel?
Emmanuel, but Assyrians call me Amo.
Amo?
Yeah.
Amo. Look, bro, you're doing a lot of dope things as well, bro. You know, and you're absorbing so much knowledge. So it's like, you know, using all this knowledge to basically build an even stronger empire for yourself, player. So mad respect to lazy intellectuals for what you got popping, what you got going through, bro. And I'm excited to see what you got doing, what you got going on in the future, man.
Thank you, brother. Well, I'm learning from you too.
Hell yeah, player.
Appreciate it, man.